So having issues getting sound to work on a lot of the microphones and getting the right sound environment that's not like super bad. And then I realized, oh yeah, I got these fancy dancy podcast microphones that, spend all the money on. Why not, have them in a video? In all seriousness, I think it's the fact I got so used to not having them in the videos when I was doing the Dice Tower videos. For some reason, they don't like seeing microphones because I guess it looks less professional if it's bad sound and look nice. I would rather look like the schlub I am, but at least I can sound silky smooth. If I don't have my voice, I ain't got nothing. Which is why there wasn't a video on Tuesday, because I didn't have much of a voice. Hey there, everybody. Chris Renshaw here. And if this is your first time here, this is a channel where I talk about all kinds of things in my life and tabletop gaming, board games, card games, RPGs, etc., and minis games. In fact, this past weekend, I was at the Nova Open. Nova Open is a mostly miniature wargaming convention in that it's mainly like a tournament convention, where I imagine it started out as a lot of Warhammer stuff, and there still is a lot of Warhammer stuff. Like a lot of Warhammer stuff. But there's also X-Wing and Legion and Armada stuff, and I was there because I do con work sometimes for Fantasy Flight, and I was showing off their new Marvel Champions game because it's a great way to get some money for future conventions like PAX Unplugged. So I was there, spent most of my time, like I said, demoing, but I did get to see and do a bunch of other things. Did get to wander around a lot. I love going around the dealer hall because it's definitely, there's like one big thing in the middle that's selling like the games. There's a shop there. It's like Atlantis Comics and Games or something. But there's a lot of like niche dealers, which is what I like to see at cons. I end up spending most of my money at cons getting like accessories. And because this is a miniatures heavy convention, there's a lot of minigames accessories. Like I played we'll get to this in a second, but I played Kill Team one night. And then the next day I saw this right here. It's a little command center board. I don't know if it's specifically for Kill Team, but it works really well in that it's got your victory points, your command points, what turn you're in, and then you can monitor for both your stuff and your opponent's stuff. So I was having dice, and I mean, I was already using dice for all these things, but I was kind of like, okay, that's my command point. The D10 is my command points. And so here I could put them in here, and it's actually got a little raised portion in here, so you can actually use the smaller kind of, I don't know the sizes, maybe it's like 18 millimeter D6s, and then your normal D6s. So there you go, you can see where the small D6 fits in, and then the larger D6 fits in on top of that. In addition to that, as I was walking by, I was like the next booth or a booth down, also found, because I was playing Necrons, and I didn't paint them up any differently. So I was having to pick like, this one's the leader, and remember which one was actually the leader. And it was more of like, oh, this guy's got his gun a little bit further up in the air. He's the leader. Well, they have these leader tokens that you just snap your mini into, and then it identifies, hey, this is the leader. And then it's got a whole bunch for all the other specialists that I've never used because I've never really played. I've only played Kill Team a couple of times. One of the coolest things I did there was I got to participate. I actually got to play some Kill Team, and I had been wanting to play Kill Team in the past, but I'd always show up and then just not play. Like last year, I signed up for a Kill Team event and then just didn't show up because I was like, I don't really want to play in a tournament because those guys are just going to cream me, and that's just going to be demoralizing. But this year, I saw right beforehand, because I was Chris from Dirtbags was wanting to start playing Kill Team. I was like, I should really refresh on the rules. So I saw there was a narrative Kill Team event called Recon Squad. So I was like, cool, that's a little bit more my speed. And it specifically said beginner friendly. So I signed up for the Friday night version of that just to try it out. And then I get there and I get like the info. I check in and I get like, I'm expecting just like the Kill Team booklet or whatever. And they're like, no, you're in the narrative. You get this other booklet. holy crap, that's where I come to find out. So I'd heard that they had done narrative events before in 40K, but I just always assumed that they were self-contained stories that just like, okay, this year you're doing this thing and here's the story and burr. Nope, it's kind of like that, but not really. So come to find out that they set up their basically own little side world, basically, where they came up with two factions. There's basically human and virtue. And over the past 10 years of Nova, because apparently Nova's Open's been going on for 10 years, each year the story advances further and further and further. And so you're building in, and like, you know, I was talking with people and they're playing in the same groups. And so you have people that are, you know your team because the same people that were on your team last year. And I asked if there was ever like traitors that go on the other side to sabotage. And apparently there is. That is a thing. Sounds like something I would do. But come to find out that this year, the 10th year, this was the last year of that story arc. And I guess next year they'll start up with something new. So that was just amazing to see. And it even finished, like the whole storyline finished with this huge apocalypse game, which in 40K, I don't know a lot about 40K, but apparently in 40K, apocalypse is like the largest army size that you can do. It's for like just, I've got thousands of dollars of Citadel miniatures on the table, and there's, you know, like probably 16 people all playing this, and it's just a lot of stuff on the table. So so apparently our game was a part of that, and I even got to ask him, like, how does this work? So we would get like scenarios, and they'd split us up into human virtue. You had to pick if you cared, and whichever team won, that faction got points, and then whoever's faction got the most points of all of our kill team games, the team later that night in the narrative full-on 40K would get bonuses for it, because we were the recon squads. So that was tons of fun, and it was so much fun. I even got on the wait list to do it the second night because they had already sold out, but luckily there was another person there also on the wait list, so it's just like, hey, let's just play kill team. So that was a lot of fun. Actually, that was great because it was all people playing kill team around my skill level. These are people that, like, they've played single digits a number of times of kill team, so there's a lot of fumbling and flipping through rules pages, and that's fine. Nobody was giving me beats, so it was a really great environment. I'd do a whole weekend of that. That was fun. I just sign up and play that all weekend probably. So other than that, I didn't really do a whole lot, because like I said, I was working most of the day, and then I played some kill team at night. Saturday night, my roommate at the convention, Keith, awesome dude, he showed me Sorcerer, the game from it's a new card game from White Wizard Games, in that you take, it's almost like Smash Up, in that you have all these different, like, you have your different sorcerers, and there's like 6 of those. You have your type of magic, and there's like 6 of those, and then your patron, like where you got your magic from, there's like 6 or whatever of those, and you grab a deck from each one and like shuffle them all together, and that's your deck. So it's kind of like Keyforge in the sense of every game's going to be completely unique. So and you've got these different bases set up, and it plays a lot better than I thought Smash Up would, because I hate Smash Up. And instead of this, you're not really attacking the other player, just kind of, you're just trying to have enough creatures there that you can deal enough damage to hurt the base, but it's not like in the sense of Smash Up where you're trying to have a specific strength there. The problems I have with Smash Up are not evident in this game. It was really fun. I just wouldn't get it because I don't know of anyone here that would play it. It's just one of those games that's a niche that I kind of barely fall into, but I'm the only one around here probably that would. I also took a video that I'm gonna run here of all the Capital Palette entries that I went through, and look, you can see some really awesome, don't know how much of this is transferred onto the video, but just lots of people that have way more skill than I ever possibly could. Not that I necessarily want to spend that much time and energy. I'm happy some people do it. It's not for me. I'd rather get things painted and on a table to play. But definitely some skilled artistry there. So All in all, it was a great time. I had a lot of fun there. It's kind of weird because it's not really a convention I would recommend to people. If you're in the area and you like minis gaming, totally would recommend. But like if you're a board gamer, they have board gaming stuff. They have a whole board gaming room, and they have a big shelf that you can, big, huge area that you can use to check out games and stuff. And there are one or two like kind of indie game studios that are there selling their games, but it's not the focus, and the kind of community that's there is a little bit rowdier-ish. I don't know if it's the fact that there are just signs for drinking everywhere. I have nothing against drinking while playing games and that, but it's just weird to see at a con people in tournaments with like booze right there, and then there's a bar at the top of the hotel where they actually encourage you to go drink because the money goes to charity. So that's cool, but it just sets this weird environment, and like it's like 11 o'clock and people are yelling and screaming in the halls. It's weird. When I mentioned this, they said it's not. BGG has some similar traits. I've never been to BGG Con, so I don't know. So let me know down in the comments below if that's the case or not. So, but that's the thing, is it's kind of a weird. I know they're trying to expand because like they did some D&D stuff this year. So I get the feeling that they're wanting this to be bigger and not just necessarily minis and tournaments. So if you're in the area, maybe go for a day, check it out, see what there is, see what's there. If you, like I said, if you're into wargaming, yeah, you're probably going to want to check this out. It's a pretty sweet convention. And especially if you're nearby, can't really hurt. So that's all I got for you in this video. Just a little recap of my trip and a little bit more expanding than what I talked about in the latest Boards and Swords podcast. Let me know down in the comments below if you play minis games. If so, what games do you play? If not, why not? Money, time. I know just about all of them. Remember, commenting on this video will also enter you into a chance to win free dice, which leads us into talking about the giveaway for the Rob Davio Restoration Games video, and that winner is Kevin Burns. Congrats, Kevin, on winning a free set of dice. Make sure you email me, chris@boardsandswords.com, with your address so I can get those sent out to you. And like I said, comment on this video if you want a chance to be entered to win future dice. In the meantime, thanks you all for watching, and we'll see you next time, and may all your hits be crits.